Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and today this is the penultimate round of our MotoGP career mode. It is time for Qatar. It is time for the Qatar GP in the Losail International Circuit, and we will start from a dreadful 17th place. I really tried my best in qualifying, but I just couldn't do any better than 17th, so I am expecting a very difficult race. Let's find out how we get on. So here we go then, guys and girls, from 17th place on the grid. Never really a good place to start from, but we'll give it our best shot and we'll see what we can do. A little bit sluggish off the line there, as we usually do, and then of course everyone dashes past us, so I'm going to have to get pretty much creative going into the first couple of corners. So onto the brakes, making massive contact with many riders, but honestly there's absolutely nothing I can do when the AI is such an advantage over the start. Oh goodness me, actually everyone's going really slow going into the second and then third corner. What is happening here? But I think I'll try and get as many places as possible as I'm bumping into all sorts of riders here. Absolutely shocking start, and my goodness, that sun is bright, isn't it? Try and sneak over the inside of a leash, but I can hardly see the corner. My god, that is bright. I don't know how bright that is coming across on the YouTube video, but for me, that is exponentially bright as we now dive up at the inside. I've not Binder as well as Bezzecchi, not quite through on Bezzecchi, but bloody hell, there's that light again. Really neck and neck with Marco Bezzecchi as he went off the circuit there, and wow, it's difficult to turn in for turn 7. On the limit already as Bez gives us a big boost of confidence. Well, not really. They give us the big don't argue, didn't he? As we now go into the right-hander and again making more contact, this time going into turn 9. Not the start I would have wanted, but honestly, the AI are acting really strange in this one. They're playing on their 120% difficulty as always, guys and gals, but they seem to be braking significantly earlier than we do. This could definitely go in our favour. I mean, 17th up to 5th, yeah, I know it was a very messy start, but I had to just give it everything, and I'm on my, 5th race today, so I'm pretty tired. I'm just going to give it my absolute best shot to see what we can produce here in today's sprint. So into the left-hand side, yet again, Marco Bezzecchi going slow. This time into turn 15. Do we have the opportunity to go through? We do. Up on the inside for turn 16. There goes Bez. He still has the inside line, but hopefully on the exit I can stay within his slipstream and have a chance of getting past him going into turn 1. So what a start for us. It's exactly what I was looking for. We're of course fighting for 3rd place in the championship, losing big points in Sepang last time out when Zarco gave us the big don't argue and took us out into the right-hander for Subway Lagunas. Goodness me. Here goes Marco Bezzecchi, a little bit of contact with the VR46 Ducati man. Of course, at this point during the week, I will be racing for the VR46 Ducati in our MotoGP 23 Cup. So, of course, I'll have to get to know that GP22 in a more intimate way to understand how to use it and hopefully be successful within our Ace Academy MotoGP 23 Cup. We've got some very fast riders in the Cup this time around. Seikun Meerkat, VSEC, and I do believe Quesadilla is a rider to be keeping an eye out in our Cup. So yeah, a lot of riders to be having a look out for as Maverick goes off the circuit. Careful Maverick, don't want to be sending it to the scenery this early on. And as per, Pecco Bagnaia has disappeared. He certainly has. He's 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the competition. Bastianini in 2nd, Vinales into 3rd. Are we able to go through here again? Yeah, the AI is significantly slower going into turn 10. It's like they lose all confidence, but I'm trying to use Maverick as a bit of a benchmark, a bit of a guideline here to go into the left-hander there. Of course, the AI don't have to suffer the same way we do when we have the acceleration pickup effect. Oh, went for the lunge, but it wasn't enough to get through on Maverick. Maverick fights back, and he holds on to 3rd place in this particular bout of sprint. Oh, very close to the apex there, almost running off the circuit as well on the exit. Just got to calm down a little bit here, but there we go, up on the inside of Maverick. Bit of contact a little bit, he got close, and the battling will continue. 1.5 seconds behind Bastianini. Are we able to get 2nd place in the Qatari night, or at least Qatari evening, let's say, because it's not quite night just yet. Still very much a bright light out. Of course, you can see the sun glaring down upon us. So, of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you are enjoying the video. It does help out the channel and help us grow, so I would really appreciate it. As now Bezzecchi has gone through in Vinales. So Bez up to 4th. Meaning that we're not gaining enough points here to beat him for 3rd place in the championship. It was an optimistic thought to finish 3rd place, but I don't think it's going to happen. We're at, I think 20-30 points behind Bez. We need to have an incredible weekend here, and Bez needs to have a bad weekend. and I just don't see it happening. But now we're in a situation to hopefully catch up to Bastianini. We could get a few more points here. 7 points are on offer for us now. Bezzecchi taking, what, 5? So yeah, 2 points in my favour is not really enough to start thinking about doing the, what do you call it, the third place in the championship. But 2 points is something, isn't it, to take back. So, hey, it's okay. It's better than nothing. So, as long as we're finishing ahead of Bez, we're doing the team proud and hopefully impressing the other teams for us to jump in and try something new next year. I don't know whether we'll still be staying with the Gas, but honestly, I am getting a little frustrated with the lack of power, the lack of speed. We've seen it in Sepang and we've seen it so many times this season where we just struggle so much with the lack of engine power. I mentioned it so much in the previous video, and the same in Chang International Circuit as well. Our engine is power 3, and I think that's out of a possible 10. The other teams are just miles ahead of us in terms of team comparison. Our engine power being at 3 is just woeful. It's why we can never start well and we never do well on straight. So if, for example, we're coming out the right-hander here, we have a bit of slipstream, and I still don't think it's enough to keep up with Beast. No, it's not. So no, we're not even close enough to the Beast. And in fact, I was wrong, actually. Bezzecchi's only going to lose a single point to us rather than 2. So yeah, we aren't closing in. But I tell you what, we are closing in on Bastianini here. So the number 23, he's not getting away from us here. I've got a bit of... Oh, that's so bright, isn't it? Can barely see a thing going into turn 2 and 3. The worst one was definitely turn 7, though. That's when it was really, really bright. But I really like that. That's cool. It looks fantastic in the game. I know the classic lens flare. I don't think a lot of people are happy or pleased with lens flare in video games, but it's something I've grown accustomed to now. And something I've grown accustomed to is fighting with a near Bastianini. How many times have we been near or near enough to a podium to have Bastianini either take it away from us or at least scrap for it? It could definitely well be happening here as we get very close to the end of that Monster Energy sign on the rear of the RC16, or excuse me, Desmond's HGP23. Of course, we're on the KTM, of course. The Gas, the Tech 3 team. But we are closing in on the Beast, and you know what? I think I would rather take 9 points rather than 7. That way I'll take 3 points away from Bezzecchi, which is still nothing to be too excited about, but still, it adds up, and points make prizes. You never know what can happen in the full race, or alternatively, what could happen in Valencia. Bezzecchi could have a shocker. He might crash. Who knows? I guess we'll have to stay tuned for that. But for now, 0.5 of a second is the gap. 6.5 now, 0.7. But we go into the left-hand side, and that's where the AI tend to struggle a little bit. We do get onto the power, and we've lost a bit more time. That's a little bit sluggish on the exit there. So this last lap's going to have to be something pretty special. Excuse me, a penultimate lap is going to have to be pretty special. So when we have an opportunity to fight back against the Beast, but he is pulling away. Look at the speed on the straight, so he gained 0.2 on me on just the straight. Definitely in the bite with power next season, definitely. It is looking likely that a promotion to the Red Bull KTM team could be an option. My what do you call it? My reputation amongst the other riders is woeful at best. A lot of riders don't like me, and I don't think I like a lot of the other riders in this championship, so unfortunately, I don't think we'll have many options when it comes to it. We'll see. I'm going to try and get everything done so I can start posting and letting you guys know. But I am not hopeful with a good team next season. I am hopeful, but I fear the worst. I fear we're going to get a bad team. Oh, Bastianini was all over the place there, but that has helped us here on the penultimate lap. We might have a chance to go on through on the Beast. A little bit of rubbing. Rubbing is indeed racing, we know this. As we get on the power, quick change of direction, he's messed up there. Oh, massive contact, I wasn't expecting him to fly back in the middle of the circuit, but still, we're really on it. And now can we go through? Careful of touching the apex! God damn it, if you touch the apex there, it's an instant crash. I was very close to doing that. Do we go for the lungs like we did on Maverick? He didn't stick earlier on. And where the hell is Pecco going? Where is he gone? Oh, he's over there. Oh, massive contact. I thought Pecco was somewhere. I couldn't see him. He was doing a long lap penalty, which wasn't there. That was insane. What on earth was he doing all the way over there? Well, I don't know, but within that confusion, Bastianini went wide, and then we took the second place. 9 points on offer for the number 47. Do we have a chance of the victory now? Pecco's only a second ahead of us, but look at that exit speed. We went into that corner a second behind. The gap is now 1.5. It's going to go even higher, isn't it? Yeah, 1.6 before the braking zone for turn 1. That is unbelievable. And he's a little bit deep there, but it looks like he's recovered nicely. And now onto the brakes and then back into the left-hand side. I don't think we are going to catch up to Pecco. But I tell you what, if this opportunity comes again, oh, steady. A little bit eager on the power. The soft rear is beginning to give way. The Beast is super close. He's actually pushing me off the track here. Steady on, Beast. Steady on, Sunshine. Really aggressive there, pushing me off the circuit. Getting caught on the curb there is as well. It's as good as being sent to the gravel. You slow down that much in this game that sometimes you might as well be sent to the gravel. Goodness me. Was not expecting this stress and pressure going into the Qatar round. I actually thought it was just going to be a battle for the points. Didn't think I'd be up here fighting for another sprint podium. The last time we took a sprint podium, in fact we took a sprint podium last time out in Sepang, and before that we took a victory in the Chang International Circuit, so the flyaway races have not been too bad for us so far. Full featured races, not so much, but the sprints have gone really, really well for us on board the RC16, so I cannot wait to see what we get given next year, because if we're doing that with this bike, what could we do next season? That is the big question. And of course now, Pecco went wide again, didn't he? He did. Why didn't he crash? That way he could have had the 12 points rather than the 9. Would have been something even more special. But of course we did start the season with power, TCS2. TCS3 rather than 2, so I think as well, since we've swapped to TCS2, I think we have had a chance to be more successful here in MotoGP 23 career mode. So into the right hand side for turn 16, we have a 3/10 of advantage to Bastianini coming out of the final corner, giving it every single bit of power. Can we hold on for second place here today? Across the line, it's going to be close, but we got it. Second place for us here today. Well, that wasn't bad, was it? 17th place to second. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I'll take it. So Bastianini, third place. That puts him, I don't know, I think really close. No, in fact, no, he's nowhere near from Pecco Bagnaia. The championship was done and dusted a long time ago. I think Pecco's up like 150 points. Let's have a look. Yeah, 147 for Pecco. An absolutely dominant season from the number one, who will definitely be retaining that number one for the next season. But as you can see, 40 points behind Bez, I don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, let's move on. So now on to the race, 17th from the grid. Let's see if we can replicate what we just did in the sprint a moment ago. We wait for the lights and we dash, and I tell you what, that's not a bad start, but I'm so slow on the starts. I need more power from this RC16. Oh, goodness me, really close to hitting Morbidelli, a little bit cleaner than the sprint. As we do barge our way a little bit, now up onto the rear of Marquez, around the outside of Marquez, and up on the inside of the Aprilia. Do we have it? He might have the inside line, though. We're going to try and brave it around the outside. We got it. Beautiful. Up into 5th place already. A 12th place improvement already in the early stages. Can we go through a Maverick? I really want to get on with this. Oh, he's touched my rear tyre. I thought that was it. Usually, if they touch your rear tyre in this game, it's over. Forget about it. But what a start from us already. Now we're up on the inside of the Bastianini. Come on, up on the inside of the Beast. Not possible. Not yet. But I'm quite confident there's right-hander here. If not here for turn 7. Oh, this is turn 7. Beautiful move. Have we got the line? I'm going to use him to push me in a little bit. Got to be careful because sometimes you get that weird animation. I had that one really there, where the front wheel wheelied ever so slightly. I'm off the circuit. No penalty given, which was surprising. Around the outside of the Beast. And we're up into 2nd place. Right then. This is exactly where I wanted to be. We've got 2 options here. We try and chase down Pecco. Goodness me, Bastianini, that was an aggressive lunge, fair enough, but I can give it to you back. Diving into turn 12. That curb really slowed me down there. If Pecco gets that 2-second advantage, I'd probably say it's over already, but I want to try and go with Pecco, because at the very least, I'll just try and go with him, so that way I can get away from all the riffraff behind us and all this battling that is ensued just going on between Vinales, Bez and Espargaro. Of course, getting a track limit warning there wasn't ideal, but back into power setting 3. I need that power. I need that speed coming out of the final corner. Give it to me. Come on. I'm in the slipstream. Might be able to drop down to power setting 2 in a moment, but look at that. We still can't even get there. We're still losing time to the Beast. On the brakes we go. Do we go around the outside? Lord almighty. Looking like Jorge Martin and Becco in the Valencia Grand Prix right at the end of the 2023 season. I can't get through it quick enough. I'm really pushing here. I need to move past Bastianini. I've got to get to Bagnaia because otherwise I cannot. Well, I think it's gone already, you know, 2.1 seconds. I think that's the worst that's happened as we slide up the inside of Bastianini. That's not going to work. Well, it's through, but it wasn't a clean overtake. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Hit the brakes and the sides just started to weave into him a little bit there, sliding in as I tried to regain the traction on the brakes. We have gone through, but will we keep it? I'm going to have to really push now because I'm feeling this one. I'm feeling really up for it. So I think I can compete with Pecco. There's a lot of corners in this track which the AI suffer. We suffer obviously a lot on the straights and anywhere that is requiring a lot more power than just a short shift. And you know what? 1.5 is the gap to Pecco. We've closed it in actually. Maybe we do have a chance. I've got to get it right though. Into 12. Keep it in nice and tight. And then again, as we touch the apex here, go for the tight apex again. 1.6. He is going to go slow into the penultimate corner here though. So let's see what time we can pull back on the world champion. Into the left-hander, downshifting at the last moment there. Firing on the power in power setting 2. Getting into the power for power setting 3. And hopefully for the straight we can just claw in a little bit more. Gap is now 1.2 to the beast, so he really was holding us up in that first section of DrAce. I can't speak. I've done a lot of videos today and I've done a lot of racing, so I'm quite exhausted, but there it is, 152.001, just a tenth of a second behind the MotoGP World Champion. Up into the first split, good effort going into turn 1. Can we stay with him? 1.6, I'm going to absolutely go for it. You know what, crash or burn, I'm going to go for it. I don't think I'll win in Valencia, I've already heard that they're really fast, so I'm not sure how it'll go there. But I feel good here in Qatar. Usually quite successful here as well, so I want this one to be a good, proud moment for me. We won the Moto2 Championship here, of course, and we even won the Moto3 Championship. Won't be doing that this year. I think this is the only year ever in a MotoGP game that I haven't won the MotoGP Championship in the rookie season. This is the only one. And this, of course, 120% difficulty AI. The fact that we've had a absolutely woeful RC16. I cannot wait to get more power for the next season. It's getting exhausting to fight with these guys. It's been a long season. I've loved every moment of it, honestly. It's been great, but these past couple of ones I've been trying to get it done so I can get Sergio to make me a brand new helmet for the next season. It's been tough. And as I say, I'm on my 6th race tonight here, so I'm very tired. So we'll see. Oh no, a little bit off onto the curb. Gap is up to 1.9. I've got to keep on pushing though. If we lose too much time, and we just like 3 seconds, and I'll call it. But I'm not prepared to give up yet. I'm going to be on the absolute limit. I still am on the limit. This is tough. Really pushing hard here. As I said many times before this season, you guys have asked me how I stay so consistent sometimes in MotoGP 23, and it's because of this. I'm on the absolute limit every single lap. So sometimes I can't go any faster, so I'm doing my maximum every single lap, but I can't do any more with this gas. We didn't get the upgrades we wanted. We got a bit, but it wasn't enough, and that's why our team performance is still dead last compared to everyone else. I really hope we get a good team next season. Fingers and toes crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Both of them all crossed. So we did lose 5/10 on that last lap, but Pecco didn't gain any time. He wasn't any quicker, so it looks like he's fell probably to around a 152.4, 152.3. Of course, I don't know that information, I'm just surmising, but the gap is creeping up to 2 seconds, but in turn, the gap to Bastianini is also creeping up to 2 seconds. So at the very least, we can keep on pushing to secure us that second place, which would result in 20 points. So it's a pretty successful weekend if I dare say so myself. Pecco will get the perfect 37, fine. It happens all the time. And then us will take a more or less perfect 29 points. So yeah, we can be happy with that. But the gap has come down to 1.5. A little bit misleading because of my entrance into that corner. I do lose time on the exit. I could probably try and improve a bit on that. And also, something to mention as well is what we mustn't forget is Pecco had a huge mistake in that sprint twice on the penultimate lap and the final lap. If he does that again and we're still within range like where we are now, we could definitely fight for a victory. And you know what? We're still going rather fast here. We're only down by 1/10 of a second. Can we get closer? I sincerely hope we can. Onto the right-hand side for 16. We get on the power. We need power setting 3 ideally. Should I chuck it on now? I guess we're going to have to. Down by 0.2 of a second compared to our best lap time earlier on, so it's still a solid lap time. But it's not enough to catch up to the man with the number 1. That Desmond Sadici is just too quick, too fast for us. Good to see Brad Binder's in the top 8, so reassuring for our KTM parts. But honestly, I don't even know if I'll be with KTM anymore, so I guess we'll just figure out what we're going to do. If we are going to be on the KTM, then I hope to God they upgraded it. In fact, actually, if I remember right, the team comparison for the KTM is quite high up, like 4th or 15th. But their results do not reflect that. Their results have been worse than mine. I'm carrying the GasGas team to 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. The Team's Championship we're up to 5th, which is also ahead of KTM. And I'm saying I'm carrying him because, no disrespect to Paul Espargaro, but he's only had... He had 18 points up to Assen, and still had 18 points all the way up to Chang, and then he had a few extra points. That's all he was able to provide for the team. And we need more. I definitely hope I get a good teammate next season. But out to the left-hand side for turn 11, we're still gaining time, and I am still pushing beyond the limits. That's deep. That has cost us a little bit of time. It's our first mistake in today's video. Now onto the right-hander again. We're so close. 1.7. On the brakes here. Will it drop to 1.5? It didn't. He didn't really slow down that much there, but I tell you what, I'm on the limit here. I am on the absolute limit, and I will not lie to you. I thought this video was extremely difficult to make. I was on the limit all the way through this. I'll level with you. I was beyond tired at this stage. I've done 6 races at this point. 6. Well, it would be 3 sprints and 6 races. So 3 sprints, 3 races, 6 races in total. So at this point, I was pretty exhausted, but I'm still pushing to the maximum. I'm determined to stay with Pecco now, but honestly, it's getting so hard. It's so difficult to be on the limit constantly, but you just can't break through. You just can't catch up to the ride ahead of you. I'm still on it though. I'm determined not to give in. The gap to the Bastianini is not a problem now. It's 3.5 seconds, but caught on the curve there. Onto the brakes into the left-hand side for 6. It is looking difficult. I just can't budge from that 2 seconds gap. Every part where we're quicker, I lose all that time on the straight. It's the Yamaha situation. You know what? I should just go to Yamaha because then I'd have the same season I've had this year. But maybe a little bit more. I don't know. It would bring us into, what, 31 points behind Bezzecchi? Yeah, I'm going to have to win in Valencia, both the sprint and the race, and hope that Bez doesn't get points in either. I think the 3rd place is slipping away from our fingers. That pains me to say, because what an effort this season. To be honest, no, that shouldn't pain me at all. We started off with 0 points over, oh my god, that's tight, it's the apex, over 3 rounds, or 2 rounds I think it was. Portimao and Argentina were just disasters. And to this point onwards, to be fighting for 3rd place in the championship in the penultimate round, after multiple victories, multiple sprint podiums, yeah, I think we've had a stellar season, absolutely terrific. I don't think you can ask any more than a player who's got the worst bike in the grid, the worst bike out of anyone I've seen amongst the Discord server and any of the aces I've spoken to. I think this has been a solid performance and I should just be proud. 120% difficulty, worst bike in the grid, engine power 3 is sort of the maximum we've got. I think I've done a good job and I'm proud of what we've done this season. It does pain me to think that this is the first game I've never won the MotoGP Championship with, but we have 1 more season, or maybe 2, depends how quick we can get through them. I'm certainly going to keep including this into my regular routine, at least 2 or 3 MotoGP 23 career mode videos a week, and that should keep us in for a chance of getting a third season done in MotoGP, but of course it all depends on how many seasons we need. But I'll be honest, this is the moment. I'm going to level with you. I'm doing the voiceover afterwards here, whether that has ruined the immersion or not. But I genuinely struggled in this race. I was on the limit for those 5 or 6 laps, and then it got to about this point and I was really struggling. As I say, this was my 6th race. It's about 100 laps in, with practice qualifying and everything else in, and I started to feel really faint right now. And I think it's worth mentioning because I haven't had this in MotoGP for a while, or ride for that moment. To the point where I've pushed so much that I have become physically exhausted during the race. And this lap was the one where I started to feel really sickly. I heated up, I wanted to take my clothes off, I was so warm, I was desperate for a drink, and I just started to feel really, really nauseous. So I kept on pushing, I kept on giving it my best shot, but this is when things go really difficult. So already on this lap, we've dropped down to a 1:53.4. Pecco has gone. I cannot compete with Pecco in this one. I gave it everything I could, and now it's time to just probably bring it home. As I say, I was struggling in this one. And I want to ask you guys, have you experienced that yourself? That you've done so much racing, you've been so in tune with it, you've been concentrating so much, you're glued to the computer, and then you start to feel it, and you feel faint, and you start to feel like you're fading a bit, and you're like, oh, I don't feel too good. Let me know in the comment section if you've had that before. Maybe I'm coming down with something, and maybe the stress and everything I've been through recently is going to get to me. I don't know, but yeah, this was a real tough one. But I was so frustrated because I still felt like I could have continued doing those lap times of the 152 lows. But I realised at this point I've pushed so much. I've pushed so hard. I think I'm going to accept the final 4 laps of just taking second place. It's been an exhausting journey. I'm still going to record the Valencia one anyway, but we'll see how that goes. I hope it'll be a little bit of a different situation. I'm hoping it'll be a bit easier. Apparently it's not. Apparently it's very difficult. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm ready to move on from the gas. I have really enjoyed the season. It's been brilliant. But it's been really hard. It's been really tough. I had a comment on Instagram that said I was on 40% AI. And you know what? I didn't change the AI at any point this season. Same as Moto 2, we stayed every single race on 120% difficulty AI, and sometimes I wish I'd changed it. I really did. And I'm going to stick to the rule next year. We're going to stay with 120%, but if it's shocking and we want to see a different difficulty, let me know. But I'm sticking with 120% as far as I'm concerned. But as you guys watch the videos, that's what's most important. So let me know in the comment section down below. So, right, we need to concentrate now. The last 3 laps are upon us. The gap to Bastianini has come down to 3 seconds. Pecco has gone. He is still doing lap times which are just too much for me. It wouldn't be too much for me if I was in a good bike, but the present situation we find ourselves in, I can't do 51.9s. The fact that we even got a 52 flat, was that better in my qualifying? I believe it was. That's how much we were pushing, so do need to pay attention to that, because I've just noticed that gap is... Oh, okay, it was temporarily went down to 2.9. I think it's just the misleading way we travel into the left-hander for turn 6, and then the way that AI take that very slow, but they then get stronger upon the acceleration. But onto the right-hand side, a little bit deep there for turn 9, getting a bit loose. I think my reactions were beginning to fail at this point. But everything else still remains the same. Keep the traction control as is, keep the anti-wheelie, engine brake 4 is my go-to. And we're 3.1 seconds. So unless we're going to lose 1.5 per lap, I don't think we need to worry about the beast. I mean, we always need to worry about the beast. He always gets me at the end of these races. I'll be damned if he does it again. And we're still definitely going to get the objective. By the way, this is the last time we'll see that objective to finish 5th in the World Championship. The team will be thrilled with this result, and I want to know what it will do for us, because I'll get reputation points, but we can't exactly upgrade the bike, because, well, unless it'll carry over to the winter test. Maybe that's how it works, I'm not entirely sure. I guess that's would make sense. But across the line, we are losing 1.7, so it was ironically it was a 53.735 again. But we did lose a whole second to Bastianini in that lap. The gap temporarily went down to 2 seconds. We might have to be careful here. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the tyres. I think they feel okay. And you know what? We've actually been pretty good with the tyres. I did consider maybe the soft option rear, but I'm glad we went for the medium. Going into the right hand of a turn 4. Careful not to run it too wide onto the curb. You do lose time. And on the right again. We're still very much close to improving on the sector time, but it seems to be the latter. We just lose a good second. The last couple of parts of this lap, we just lose too much time. We're still on the limit to avoid Bastianini here on the penultimate lap in the penultimate round of our MotoGP 23 career mode. Once again on the right hand side for turn 9. 4.5 tenths of a second as it is. 5 tenths of a second, yeah, so we're still okay. We just can't afford to lose much time after this. And I did have a pretty gnarly crash here on the right-hander. I braked a little bit too early in the qualifying, and my god, the crash there was horrific. It wobbled, and it launched me into oblivion. It was a very scary moment. 1 second we lost, actually, going into the final sector. Good lord. 1.8 is the gap to Bastianini. Bear in mind, he's going to take at least 4 tenths away from me on the straight. We mustn't panic. We mustn't panic, but I'm panicking. I am definitely panicking. To the right-hand side, we've gone deep. I need power setting 3. I've got enough to use it a bit. Just caught the curb there ever so slightly as well. Plus 0.9. Maybe I shouldn't use it. I don't know. Let's hold on to it for a bit longer. 0.8. I don't think we can use power setting 3. I think that's going to just dwindle before we even get to the final couple of corners. Gap is 1.1. It was 1.6 a moment ago. Jesus, we're going to lose a second on this lap. It's over. Bastianini's going to get me, isn't he? He better not. I'm fed up with that 23 beating me. It's like racing online with Sergio. The 23 somehow begets the 47. It's not happening today, though. No way. Bit deep there into turn 5. It's going to cost us more time. We will be strong into turn 6 here, and then in turn 7... Here's 6. Only losing 3 tenths. Good response into the first split, but coming out of the corner, we still lost time. Onto the right-hander for turn 7. We had the light shining in our face early, didn't we? The sun was still bright and burning in the sprint. 1 second is the gap. Oh, a little bit wide there. Just had the rear sliding ever so slightly. We cannot afford to lose a second in this last lap. No way. That's not going to happen, surely. Pecco Bagnaia is gone. He's about to past the 4th sector mark. Small correction there with the gas onto the right hand side of the brakes. Careful going into turn 12. Onto the power. Onto the right hand side for turn 13. Bear in mind I was passing out at this point. It was beginning to feel really, really nauseous. Couldn't wait for this one to be over. And I tell you what, Bastianini's coming. 3 tenths of a second is the gap, but we should be good going into turn 15 because the AI struggle. We need power setting 3 if we can use it. Let's bump it up. And let's get across the line, hopefully, with a second place in tow. No way. He's going to get me, isn't he? 42,000 of a second. Small wheelie there for us. Quick, he's gone. We lost it. We lost second place. Well, I don't think I care anymore. I'm just glad this one's done. I can't believe we lost that second place. That means we lost around 1.5 seconds on that last lap. Yikes, that was embarrassing. Well, you can see with my fastest lap there, I really pushed hard to stay with Pecco, but it just didn't happen. So we didn't pull back enough points on Bezzecchi, so I think that's it for us in our 4th place for the championship, which is certainly good. Johan Zarco's down to 13th. Paul got the fastest lap of the race, but 51.088. Bloody hell. Anyway, look at the championship standings. Yeah, we're now 35 points behind Bez. That's pretty much sealed it for us, so I'm happy to stay in 4th, but we must stay in 4th. I don't want to drop any worse. So, yeah, quick look at the rest of it as well, guys. I'll leave this for you because I'm about done. So, guys, thanks for watching this video. I really do appreciate you stopping by. The Ducati team now have 1,000 points. My goodness. And I guess I'll see you in tomorrow's video. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in a bit. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.